Now, hello everyone, and welcome. Welcome to Cosmic Truth Remembrance, Embracing Our Galactic Self. The Cosmic Truth Conference is bringing together a powerful array of masterful visionary ascension guides who will share transformational, expanding, and liberating multidimensional wisdom. We are invited to remember our deep, authentic cosmic identity, and we are invited to reclaim our sovereignty as galactic divine humans, so that all together we create a potent force of collective liberation, ushering in the new Earth. I am Annelise Ashara, your host, and I'm thrilled to welcome our guest, Dr. Edwige. Welcome, Dr. Edwige.
Hello, thank you for having me here today. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. So let me introduce you to everyone. In service to humanity, Dr. Edwige is the living embodiment of the Cosmic Mother. The changes Dr. Edwige ushers in are on the wings of divine femininity to bring movement and expansions for all who choose the path of awakening. This essence from infinite presence contains the highest and purest frequencies of light, needed to live in the new Aquarian age of love, freedom, and miracles. Through Prime Source, these available energies are intended to balance the strength and power of the masculine force that previously dominated on Earth for thousands of years. As a gatekeeper to higher realms, Dr. Edwige is here to assist souls who wish to ascend with crossing through the gateway portal of Christ's love. As holder of the holographic divine blueprint, humanity will be lifted and returned to divine order through the many processes of ascensions during this great consciousness shift. You can find Dr. Edwige on her website, dredwige.com. So, Dr. Edwige, your topic for today is the return of your divine blueprint. It's very beautiful, so I'm very excited. So let's jump in. Could you begin by sharing what is the state of one and how do we return to the state of one?
Wonderful question. And so realizing that we all began from the one, the source, the all and the everything. And our job, if you will, our mission has been to have these experiences so that the source, the all and the everything, could experience self, correct? And so when that window then would open, when it was time to begin that return to not only your spirit, your soul, your higher self, your monad, your I am in your bodies of light, then that would be one with the flow of the one with the source. And so the return is for you to clear, to calibrate, to purify, and to know that that window has opened, that you return and you now operate with the knowing, with the understanding, with the overstanding that you are one with the one. Does that make sense? And so that window is here, that opportunity is now. And so for some of us, it's about doing the process that's required to begin to peel away the layers, to let go of all the things that you took on lifetime after lifetime, thinking that to be who you are, this fear, this doubt, this guilt, this shame, all of these lower density ideas. And so if you were to look at the fact that source, spirit is so powerful that it only took 1% energy to create matter, to make you physical. So now that 1% has an opportunity to clear, to let go, to remove all the lower densities, the fear, the guilt, the shame, the pain, the doubt, everything that made you so solid, everything that made you here. And if it's not right in front of me, if I can't touch it, it's not real, right? That's been the philosophy. So now it's time to realize that as we let go and purify those lower density energies, that we begin to move into a higher density of that 1% that lifts us up into the higher realms of 3D, lifts us up into 4D, lifts us up into 5D. And in that place, now you're operating from love and peace and joy and wholeness and harmony and grace and mercy and dispensations. right? You realize that everything has been an orchestration on your behalf to move you in this direction. And then your mental body has positive thoughts, thoughts of empowerment, thoughts that are wise. You begin to tap back into all the potentiality that is within the source, the one, all the magnificent creation that is available to you. And you're no longer in negative and in lack and fear, but you're in hope and positivity and joy, and you're creating from a higher density. And then your emotion, your body moves up into a higher realm. And from this place, you're no longer in fear, you're no longer in doubt, but oh my goodness, I am all that I am. I am love. I am grace. And now in this beautiful place of peace, I am abundant. I am the living light. And that's what I came forward to experience. And I'm returning to the fact that I am the living light. Oh, yaya mamuashe na kutote, chikusavania mohopota chikutote. Ami mamuash ketai no kupushe na kaya no heshe. Oh, yakumi ashe, mama, mi amohote, kufamishte. Indeed, feel that, dear ones, beloveds, feel who you are, feel that essence, that spark within you, igniting. Miyamoku tichi kaya noku tichi kaya noku tichi kaya no mi mama ekiatoshkitai noku potache. Feel yourselves moving into wholeness. Feel yourselves moving into a lighter density you. That is your beautiful and divine birthright, to return to your divinity, to return to that spark that you began from. As in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. And you came forward from love plus light equaled life. And so now you are returning to that balance, that harmonic balance, right in that sacred space of your heart, of love and light, equaling this divine and whole life that again feels itself one with all and the everything. It's powerful. It's so powerful.
It is definitely. I'm just taking those beautiful words in. So the state of one is where I am you, you are me. And maybe could you elaborate on what is our divine blueprint as regard to consciousness, and how can we remember it, and how can we embody it?
So we are moving through a purification stage as we speak. And so that's why the world looks like it's lost. That's why the world is in chaos, because everything that's been done for eons, right? This last patriarchal energy, everything that's been done in the dark has to come to the light because it hasn't been created from love. Correct? It's been created from control. And so all of that is coming up. And then as you become aware and you see what's going on and you say, I no longer consent to this. This is not what I agreed to. I agreed to be love. I agreed to be the light. And you begin to peel away the layers, because remember, you've had many, many lifetimes. And in those lifetimes, you've played the good, the bad, the ugly, right? All of those things. And so it's for you to do the work for yourself to clean up your act, to purify your heart. And as you do that, then you begin to lift. And their divine essence, you're a divine template. In the beginning, you were a higher dimensional being before the fall. So that's your divine blueprint, your divine template. And you see, and for you, right, and for your listeners, those are star seeds. Those are volunteers. Those are the children of the Most High. And so all of these beings originated from a divine template. The volunteers came forward to assist humanity. And so you came from a higher dimensional state. and you agreed to come forward onto this learning planet of 3D to be the light, to help, to support. And so that divine template is you. Now it's time, because of all the incarnations into lack and fear and guilt and shame and pain and doubt, right? You have like this armor, this heavy armor that you have to clear, that you have to process, that you have to love, that you have to have compassion for, and you have to hold yourself accountable, right? No more excuses. This is not dress rehearsal. This is it. And so as you peel away the layers, as you become the master of your physicality, because it's this physicality that is going to house your spirit, your soul, your higher self, your I am, your bodies of light. It's this physicality. So that's the first layer that you have to deal with, right? In 2008, I remember clearly, I opened my refrigerator that morning and an outside voice said, "No more meat." I'm like, oh, okay, who said that? Right? So they started working with me. And so that moment, that day, I stopped eating meat. I haven't had chicken, beef, lamb, any of that since, because they guided me that it's mine. And so that's working on the physical, because the physical body has to have the right vibration. It has to receive the codes and the transmissions that are coming forward. And if the physical body is too weak and cannot receive these things to move forward, then you're going to transition out and you're going to cross over from the other side. But the joy, the fun that we said, yes, I'll go, is because we get to experience that in the physical. So it's a delight for us to be here in this physical vessel, moving this physical vessel to a higher state so that it can receive. I pulse and vibrate, and I'm in energies all day, every single day. If I were to just hold my hands out, you would begin to feel the pulsing. Ooh, see, coming, because there is not a moment when I am not in these energies, because I paid attention and I did the work for my physical body to heal, to move into wholeness, to move into oneness, and to be able to receive my spirit, my soul, my higher self, my monad, my I am, and my bodies of light. I think I shared with you some pictures showing my rainbow body. It's true. You can ascend in this vessel if you learn the work. And so the first level is working on that physical. Then you got to go ahead and start working on that mental body. You got to, we've got that little devil on our shoulder saying, you're not good enough. You're not worthy. What makes you think you can do this? Who do you think you are? Right? And then you allow yourselves to watch the television that tells you a vision that is not a truth. Correct? And then you realize they used to call it programming back when I was a little girl, right? It was called programming. Programming for a reason, because they are programming you to have a certain belief system that is not the truth. And then the history. Whose story is it? His story, the conqueror's story. And so what you read, right, in a chapter is an order. It's you see, so all the words have been to create spells around you. And so you, in the mental, you have to begin to tap into that. You have to begin to see through etymology the true origins of these words, these spells that have been cast upon you, that you have to break free from this matrix. And to do that, you have to consciously get off autopilot, consciously choose to be aware of your thoughts, consciously choose to be aware of where you're putting your thoughts. Are my thoughts supporting me? Are my thoughts supporting my community? Are my thoughts supporting? So you see, when we watch the news and when we see his story and when we see the programming and when we see the television, are you playing into it? Are you recognizing that this is not a truth? I do not accept this. I do not consent. And I no longer am playing a part to this, because as long as you play a part to it, you are feeding it. And remember, the dark, the Draconians, the reptilians, the grays, they feed off of fear, hate, negativity, right? They feed off of that. So to them, all of this chaos has been wonderful. They have been fed well. It's time to recognize that and to say, I no longer consent. I'm beginning to focus on what is beyond, and what is beyond is grace. What is beyond is the higher heavenly realms. What is beyond is me as my divine self, living in the here and the present and the now. That is what's beyond all of the chaos that I must purify and release and let go, so that I can move beyond the 3D matrix and break free, because this is the opportunity to do so. And then your emotional body, clear those emotions, right? Because the emotional body is the largest body, because it's holding all of your suppressed and all of your unresolved emotions from lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. So say 100 lifetimes ago, you were a little boy and you hurt your leg and you wanted to cry. And your daddy said, boys don't cry. And you sucked that emotion in. Guess what? If you didn't resolve it in that lifetime, and you didn't resolve it in a lifetime thereafter, and you are now here hearing this, and you're wondering why this process seems to be so difficult, it's because you have so many unresolved emotions. And those emotions are causing you to think and act a certain way, and then it has to play out in front of you. You're the creator of it. And so the goal is to heal those emotions previously that held you down, that kept your heart closed, that kept your heart shielded, so that you wouldn't feel the pain, that you wouldn't feel the anger, that you wouldn't feel the hurt, that you wouldn't feel unloved, that you wouldn't feel unimportant. Let it go, because you are, you see, you are love. And here's the beautiful thing about this word love. And the Greeks had it really well when they had all the different definitions for love. Filial love, ergos love, right? Love of, oh, I love this glass of water. It's so delicious right now, right? Well, that's not the highest love, right? That's a friendly lower love. And so there are different levels. And we hear the word love and we think, oh, I love my pizza. I love my croissant. I love my this. I love my that. No, you are love. And I like these things bring me joy, but you have to be the essence of love. And the essence of love simply is, and because I'm love, I honor life. I hold the place and the space of unconditional love. I have no judgment. I have no words for others that are judging, that are hateful, that are prejudiced, that are radical, that are racial. Do you see? Because that's not love at all. Love says, and love allows, you are who you are in your divinity and your perfection, and I acknowledge you, the divine within you. Now, I might not like you, that's okay, but because I am love, I honor the love and the light that is within. Do you see the difference? And so people have been programmed, dare I say, by the television, by the books, by the programs of what love is. Oh, you know, on the Hallmark Channel here in the States, we have, oh my gosh, every weekend, all these wonderful lovey-dovey movies. It's like, that's not reality. That's not essence. That's not truth. That's not actuality. Actuality is, because I am love, I have an overstanding and an understanding that things happen. But because I am an awakening soul, I don't judge those things. I'm the detached observer. And I realize that no one is broken, that everyone is exactly where they're supposed to be, having their experience, getting them to where their destiny lies for them. Do you see? That's how it works. Does that make sense? Yeah. Indeed.
Yes, it does. You lay it out very, very clearly. And could you elaborate on this? I loved it when you said the love, the light makes the life. I really like this idea. Can you elaborate?
Absolutely. So, you know, for me, I'm always in these transmissions. I'm always connected in the flow, and information and wisdom and the information from the book of knowledge. Whoa, always comes forward. And so in one of those transmissions, they showed me if you would take the essence of the source is all that is, right? And so the source in its magnificence has no polarity. The source is just pure perfection. And source took itself. It took a bit of its love to create a bit of its light. It's like the masculine and the feminine, the purity and the harmony is love that equals light. For in the beginning was the word, and the word was light. So light, through my light, I created that love, and that love created that life form that you see here before you. Do you see? So you are the essence, the embodiment of love and light. So upon the fall, you lost your light. But love was the tool that would bring you back. Make sense? And so if you can get to unconditional love, if you can get to non-judgment of love, if you can get to just being that space of love anchored within the tiny chamber of your heart, then your light quotient begins to turn on. And you have to get to 90% light for your light body to move into you and activate. And majority of people are walking around with maybe 60% light. So do you see what the progression has to be? The movement, the purification of the physical, of the mental, of the emotional, so that you, through this purification and coming to this unconditional love, will allow your light to turn on. A truth, dear ones, a truth. That's how it works.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. And so is there a way to say where we are now as a human collective in the ascension process?
Okay, so that's an interesting question. So the best way I can describe it, because everyone is where they are supposed to be. So if we were to take a train, right? And a train, say the train had 100 cars. You have those who in 2016 went through a process. It was a 9-year, and they completed a process, and they have the embodiment of their I am. They're in the very first train, pulling it along. I'm the light, see me, come on, we can do this, right? And then you have those collectively, those souls who are in the next train. And you have souls who need a different activity to awaken them. And they're in the next train. And then you have the next group of souls. You know, there could be 1 million people in each train. There could be 10 million people in each train. It is based on where your level of consciousness at this particular time. So, and as you get to the back of the train, it requires a different type of chaos, a chaotic node to say, oh my, it just hit me. I got it. Now I can begin the process and my journey. So do you see, it doesn't matter the percentage of where the population is. It matters that every soul that has said yes, and they're in one of those trains, whether it be in the first one or the last one, they're on the track and it is being pulled forward. The job is to be aware, get off autopilot and become aware so that when that chaotic node happens for your train to activate and to turn on, you do so. You see, because it's your soul's journey, and your soul knows who you are. Your soul knows your essence. Your soul knows your mission. And so your soul knows when you're going to wake up. So for an example, as a little girl, I could see ghosts. I could see spirits. I was 5, 6 years old and get up to go to the restroom in the middle of the night. And I'd see a lady standing there in the hallway and I'd walk around her. So I could always see, right? So there's something there. Then I remember I was about 11 or 12 when this being, not human, was standing at the foot of my bed. And I'm like, oh, look at you. You're really tall. And all of a sudden, I lifted up out of bed, but I could see me sleeping. But I was very aware of me looking at me sleeping and looking at him. He was from the Council of 12. And up out of bed I went, up out of the house I went, and now I'm flying up in the cosmos. And I'm like, look at this creation. I would then land on a bridge, and then I would then dive into the depths of the ocean and swim with the whales and the dolphins. I did this with him for 6 years. Every few months, here he would be. I remember one time, and I would say to my mom, there's this being that keeps coming and getting me. And she said, dear, they're here to teach you. Go. You know, there was a time I grabbed my pillow. I could see my pillow. Etherically, I could see me holding my pillow. And down the hallway I'd go, and into my parents' bedroom I'd go, and I'd attempt to wake them up. Look at me here. Can you see me? They're sleeping, and out their bedroom window, I'd go. And so, you see, some of us are in different trains, and some of us have had this our entire lives. And it was, so you see, even for me, I had all these wonderful experiences. And then my dad transitioned when I was 18. And so it shuts you down, right? You have this traumatic experience and you're like, oh my gosh. And so that kind of shut down, even though every now and then I would have a visit and I'm thinking, what are you checking the progress of what? I didn't know, but literally they would be like, we're checking your progress. I'm like, okay, whatever. Didn't know. And then in 2004, as I moved to Henderson, Nevada, right outside Las Vegas to you know, do my singing, because that's what I did for a living. I sang and I got to sing all through all the different casinos and showrooms. And so 2004, I'm driving to a photo shoot and I wind up in a car accident. The police are doing a police chase of a vehicle. I pulled off to the shoulder to get out of their way. They didn't see me in the shoulder. They rear-ended me. I went into the light. My life didn't flash before me. And they said, you were there to bring them into the light. Okay. And everything that they started to show me as a child, guess what? I started to remember that from that point forward, every 10 days or so, whew, something was happening. I was being visited by an angel. I was being visited by an ascended master. I was being visited by Yeshua. I was being visited by Mother Mary. I was being visited by this one, by that one. You name it, by ETs. Yes, all dimensional, interdimensional, you name it. They were showing me how to move through portals. They were showing me how to travel through stargates. They were showing me how to travel in a blink of an eye. They were showing me how to activate and heal. They were showing me all sorts of things. And this process continued until I watched in 2012 my light body descend into me. That was about a 10 or 12-hour process. Not pleasant. And that continued the journey until my I am was ready to descend into me, and I ascended to meet my I am. And that was the process that they took me from 2012 to 2014. I had to do special things. In 2015, I had to do special things. In 2016, the completion. I was 54, a 9-year, and a 9-year, 2016. And so everything is divine. Everything is sacred. Again, your soul knows. What you have to do is begin to open and receive the information that's coming from your soul. And if you're not, meditate. If you're not, ask. If you're not, before you go to your 4D place of slumber at night, which is sleep, and that's the 4D, which is higher than this is the illusion, then begin to ask, hey, show me what I have to let go of. Help me to release it in this state. You see, 4D is much more than you just going and getting your 8 hours. 4D is for you to work through your stuff with grace and ease. And then you'll begin to have lucid dreams. You know, I lay there, I don't even sleep. I just observe everything. When I leave me, I'm very aware. I'm floating around. I'll have a vision. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And I'm like, thanks. And then when it's time to come back in, I can feel, I'm like, okay, it's time to come back in. And I can feel like liquid movement. And I can feel as I'm moving back into me. Now let's get up. Let's create in this day the perfection that which I am. Do you see? the process. And so the process is we have to begin to see ourselves as holy. We have to begin to see ourselves as divine. We have to begin to see ourselves as we truly are. In essence, one with the source. And as you begin to consciously connect to that, guess what? The process begins for you, or the process continues for you until you are a cohesive being of light. And if you noticed in that picture, only my feet were exposed, the rest of me, and a little bit of my fingers. That was it. Because if that was in the light, I wouldn't be here anymore. So that much has me anchored on this side to assist. That's the reality. And it's so
beautiful. Yes, it is beautiful. Thank you for sharing this your life. And actually, you were talking about also our kin from the Galactic, our Galactic brothers and sisters. Can you maybe elaborate on this, and so that we can remember our Galactic selves?
Yes, yes, yes. So think about it. There are so many planets, so many systems, and so many universes that all saw this beautiful 3D Tara. And it's like, oh my gosh, we get to experience free will. Oh my goodness, they need help. Oh my goodness, this is going to make us a master, and we get to come back to Sirius. We get to come back to the Pleiades. We get to come back to Andromeda. We get to come back to Alpha Centauri. We get to come back to all these beautiful places. The Larans, right, who started with the first incarnations here. Ooh, indeed. Kayami amohupupu, the Paladorians, Keatopi ashe, Dani amohupu ashe. And so just feel them reaching out to you, your family, where you're really from. Kiamopu ashe, Kiichi kainoru pukai, no kupichi kainu kuteje, Iania she kayano kutoteji kusamama, Ekiatoti yashikayo no kupupatia kesaya no kuteshe ashe nakovinia. And so all of your family is ready to assist you. Your Aurora family, your Yamokishi Ashe Nikaya Nana, your Rainbow family, Kayani Ashe, Akikuputo, Kainu Kushikaya Nubuya Nuna, your Ray family, Kayami Mamoma Hashikaya Tote, Shikainu Kupuponia. And so ask, and ask, and it is given. Knock, and the door will be opened unto you. Dear ones, you have to come halfway. You have to reach up. You have to realize that there's more than what is right in front of you, right? You have to get that first. And when you can begin to tap into all that you are, bit by bit. It's like peeling away, the layers of the onion, peeling it away. But guess what? At the center of it is this most divine and sacred heart. Yaka mi momo hashete mi momo hatea tote kiashe mi momo hatekishka no noa esabacheni hapopuki ashe nanuha. Feel your hearts open. Feel your hearts open, dear ones. Become one with the essence of your heart, for your heart leads you. Your heart guides you. Your heart has brain cells. Allow your heart to be the director, to move you forward. For within that sacred space of your heart, you cannot create anything that is out of harmony. You can only create that which is for your best and highest good and the good of all, when you can live and breathe and be in that sacred space of your heart. So that's the key, to get into that space. And then from that space, then begin to do your meditation. From that space, begin to reach out to your team, your family of light that is waiting to say hello. So you have to say, hello, here I am. Remember me, here I am. I'm waking up, and I'm going to bring back all sorts of amazing information, all the things that I learned here. I'm going to bring it to you. Yes. Do you see? So you have to begin to tap into that. This is not something that you can do asleep. You have to be awakened to awaken. Do you get it? Yeah, because you have to get off that autopilot. You have to become consciously aware of everything. You know, when you go out, are you zipping up? Are you protecting your body? Are you protecting your field, your energy? Or are you just going out and then any old thing can attach to you? Dear ones, right now, where we are in this chaotic node, there's lots of things wanting to attach to you and catch a free ride. You have to be powerful. You have to know that you are the light. And as the light, all sorts of things want to attach to you. So you have to do your work to protect, to calibrate, and to continue to increase your vibration and your frequency so that you can become untouchable. Ah, indeed. Kaya miya mahupope ashkatay no kusominia o kushikaya no kataninia o pia pushte anu kaya mahutena e nina hakia shena e kia totia kaya no kushena e liha koashe. And so we bring in those divine rays, the divine ray of the blue ray, the first ray of surrender, of divine will, and of protection. Feel that energy of that divine ray move into you and around you. Ah, there we go. Mia mohuki, ayamokupeche, kayanokatani, ayanokishema, hoshiatote. Ah, beautiful. Let's bring in that second ray, that beautiful golden ray of illumination, to illuminate your mind, to illuminate your thoughts, so that you begin to create from a higher conscious, from a Christ conscious. Yeah! Ah, beautiful. Let's move on to that third ray of cosmic love. See that beautiful crystalline pink energy. Let it infuse you and move into your heart, where you know unconditional love. The highest and purest love that simply is. Indeed. And let's bring in that fourth ray, that ray of purity. That white ray that fills every space, because your hearts must be pure. Your thoughts must be pure and innocent and childlike, so that you can receive, dear ones. Let's bring in the fifth ray, that emerald green healing ray. Ooh, and to heal you at a physical level, to heal you at a mental level, to heal you at an emotional level, to heal your astral form, your astral body. Makochia, upulia. Oh, beautiful. And as you are healed, as you are in love, as you are in purity, then you move into the sixth ray, which is that beautiful golden ruby ray of resurrecting, of resurrection, of the return of all that you are, resurrecting within you. You see your gifts, your abilities, your spark, everything begins to turn on. And then as we bring in that beautiful and sacred seventh ray, the violet flame, it transmutes, it transforms, it transfigures you. Ah, beautiful. Ki ni amo hashe ni kaya no hatache. Ki ni no hashe ni no hatoyakoche. Ah, mi amo hashe ni no hateche kainuna. So just receive. That which you are ready to receive, dear ones, is here for you. Ki anoni ashkutana. Iki atote chai nukuputana, iki sasa mimo hatechi kainukachena, iki yatechi kasabechi putote ashunwa. Ah, mamea moni hashe, niki atote hashe. Ah, beautiful. Ah, mikusasa. Ooh, and that, dear ones. Feel that energy just moving in and out. And that is where you have to get to, so that you can feel that all the time. That's when you know that you're now living in the flow. You feel that ebb, that movement 24/7. You see, I'm just, oh, it feels so good. You see, and in that space, you're tapped into.
Yeah. Oh yes, baby with the float is beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this. Maybe you have any final words of wisdom to share with us.
You know, be kind to yourself. It's so interesting how we love the divine so much, and yet we don't filter that love to ourselves. We see ourselves through a different lens. And if you love the source, the creator, with all your heart and with all your might, must you then to love yourself? And so what I leave you with is the fact that you have to love yourself. And it's not a narcissistic love where it's self-serving. It's a love that I have compassion for myself because, yes, I did come forward to have these experiences. And yes, I had these experiences. And yes, some of them may not have been the most kind experiences or joy-filled experiences, but I learned lessons from them. And I learned those lessons and I am ready to graduate. And I have so much love and compassion for myself because I can say to me, a job well done. I did it. And that's the kind of love that you have to have for yourself. I'm here. I'm the boots on the ground doing the work for the Most High. I accept that job, that task, and I'm going to hold on to it and I'm going to do it. And I am victorious, for I have all the grace, all the mercy, all the dispensations that are required for me to be successful. And so I love me through this process. So it is, and so it is, and so shall it be. And of course, let's not forget the gift.
Of course, I was about to ask you, I know you are offering to our audience a beautiful free gift. You are offering a PDF copy of your book. You're Not Crazy, You're Awakening. So I'm sure you can tell us a few words.
And the wonderful thing about this, you know, it's so interesting. I remember when I first started writing, or actually before I ever started writing, in this process, I would be at an event and someone would walk up to me and say, "Are you writing yet?" And I would say, "No, I don't write." And then it happened a second time, and then it happened a third time. And I'm like, what on earth am I supposed to be writing? Why these people keep telling me, am I writing yet? And the message would be, "You're loved. Are you writing yet?" I'm like, well, thank you for the love, but no, I don't write. And so finally I had to sit and ask, what is it that I'm supposed to write about? I'm like, okay. And so literally, yes, they came in and they told me my experiences. And my experiences, the lessons gained from those experiences that led up to my bodies of light moving in. And so it literally takes you step by step as to some of my profound visitations, what they meant, how they taught me, how to let go, how to clear, how to get out of the mental, how to heal the emotional, all of those things that I spoke to. How to address those things bit by bit, how to move through the process, how to find your happiness, all of those things, right? How to become the master, how to bloom like the butterfly. All of that is within this book to help you, to guide you, to, if you have never meditated, how to meditate. Just a little bit of everything that you need, not just one thing, because you are a collective, right? A collective of all your lifetimes, a collective of consciousness. And so you have many aspects of you that have to be addressed. And so that's what this book shares, that the fact is, you know, I remember early on when I was hearing outside voices and able to see lights coming from way beyond and stopping right in front of my face, or seeing an angel come in and hug me, or feeling someone come in. I really thought, am I crazy? Hence the name. You're not. Truly, this is the time, and we're simply awakening to who we are as divine beings. And it is the beautiful journey of remembering. So this takes you on that journey so that you can begin to remember who you are and why you can. Sit in a nutshell.
Thank you, Dr. Edwige. Thank you for being here. Everybody watching, thank you for being here with us. I hope, and I'm sure you received so much from this beautiful conversation. So thank you again, Dr. Edwige.
May you be well in all your ways. And may the stars shine brightly upon you, for you are the stars. Ah, beautiful. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.